Hi everybody and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. And yes, you've already noticed this isn't a truck. Well, that's because here on Truck King, we test everything you can put behind your truck as well. Of course, you may have seen me over on TFL Off-Road testing PWCs. So I've been doing this for a number of years and we're not going to stop now. So if you're excited about PWC content on Truck King, go below right now and hit subscribe. And I cannot wait to bring you this video because I've got this. This is the 2020 Yamaha Waverunner GP1800R. That R, it stands for race, and that's exactly what we're about to do. In this video, we'll hit the water, we're gonna do a top speed run, I'll show you how well this thing carves up the waves, and then of course we'll talk about the value and whether or not it's worth it. So what are we waiting for? Let's get out there and hit the lake. Let me show you the features here on the GP1800. So starting around the back, you do get a standard boarding step, always really handy for when you're out there swimming. Now the other thing, and you can't see it, I'll show you a shot of it though, the whole ride plate and the intake grate on this model is unique because it's the race model, and that is going to help you with overall traction in the water. Now I want to show you everything else here, including the storage. So the seat actually comes off in two different pieces. The rear seat peels off first, and I do really like this. Look at this nice little storage bin. It actually pops right out, and it is waterproof, so that screws right on there nice and tight. If you want to pack your phone or something in there you don't want to get wet, you can do that, and then when you hop out on the island for lunch, just take that with you. That is really handy. Then the front part of the seat pops off to reveal our power plant here. So what you're looking at right there is a 4-stroke, 4-cylinder engine, non-supercharged. That's the thing with this GP1800R. This is not the supercharged model, so it's not the most powerful in the Yamaha lineup. And we'll get back to that when we talk about price, because of course, this is going to be more affordable. Now moving forward for storage, you do have storage here between your legs. It is quite deep, although I have to say, if you've seen any current Sea-Doo models, the Sea-Doo models have a little phone storage in here. They have a USB port in here. It's all waterproof. I gotta give Sea-Doo credit on that one. This storage is fine, but it's kind of just basic. It'd be nice to have some more features in there. Moving to the nose, this is not all that big either, to be honest. It's a pretty small little opening. It is deep enough for a big bag though, and we have all our gear in here, ropes, bumpers, paddles, etc. But you know what? This GP1800R, like I mentioned off the top, R stands for race. So this is not the model you buy just to go lounge around on an island. It's the model you buy to hit the water and have fun. So let's go do that right now. So let's get straight to the fun stuff. This GP1800R is really about a raw riding experience. There are no superfluous features here that you just don't need. There's no cruise control here, no touchscreen, none of that stuff. This is a sports car for the water. If you've ever been in a Toyota GT86, that's a great example. No buttons on that steering wheel. That is a Focus sports car. Well, this GP1800 is a Focus sport machine. What sets this GP1800 apart from the rest of the Waverunner lineup is the hull design, but it is also the ride plate back there. The ride plate is set up so that it really aggressively bites into the water. And let me now tell you that easily the most impressive thing about this GP1800 is the way it turns. It absolutely digs into a turn. I personally have never felt a PWC that turns like this. Even the most aggressive Sea-Doo models, they're not quite designed for racing like this Yamaha is. Something like an RX TX 300, it still has a little bit of give. You can still feel the hull slipping on the water a little bit. At every single speed, I would take this GP, throw it into a corner, and the bite that it gets in the water, the absolute traction that it gets in the water is just unbelievable. With handling like this, it almost makes the GP1800R hard to ride. And what I mean by that is when you have a unit, a PWC, that doesn't bite as aggressively, the turn just feels much more gradual. It doesn't feel like you really have to hold on to that unit so hard. Whereas this GP, when you do crank it into one of those turns and it sticks like that, it means that the people on board, especially you as the rider, you're really holding on. You're really straining your arms and your core muscles to grab hold of this machine because it can just turn so tight. So I will caution you that if you're looking for something that is easy to ride, something that will be comfortable over many hours, this is not exactly it. This GP1800 is going to fatigue whoever is riding it, but it's also going to provide a ridiculous amount of performance. Let's talk about the engine in this Waverunner now, but first we have to talk a bit about the Waverunner lineup. So this GP1800R is technically brand new for 2020, but what it actually is really just a new name on the old VXR model. And what it allows Yamaha to do is market the GP1800 as either a naturally aspirated unit, like it is here, or with the supercharged engine. So Yamaha kind of shuffled up its names, but really what you need to know is that now you can get a GP1800R, the race-focused model, either with this naturally aspirated engine or the bigger supercharged unit. Getting up and out of the water, off the line, this thing feels plenty powerful. It's not insane like the supercharger, but I have not been wanting for power all day long riding this thing. And hey, you know what, while we're talking about power, let's cut right now to the top speed run. Let's see what this puppy can do. On this GP1800 really bounces all over the place. The fastest that I saw there was 56 miles per hour, although cruising, I think you're probably sustained cruising somewhere closer to 50 miles per hour. Let me show you the controls here on the GP because I do think they're quite intuitive, and then we'll also talk about some of the things this machine doesn't have. So Yamaha's ride system is really simple. A lever over here on the right to go forward, a lever over here on the left to go backwards. If you want to go in reverse, just hold down that left lever. And then if you're moving at top speed, also grab that left lever, and it's going to act as a water brake, which is always appreciated when you're flying along out there. Now, you might notice here on the handlebar, we also do have a trim adjustment. That is important for a performance machine, so it's cool that Yamaha still included it, but that's about it. This model doesn't get things like cruise control. It doesn't get Yamaha's new fancy docking system. Again, no touchscreen, none of that stuff, because this model is about, saving money, saving weight, and then going as fast as you can in the water. So again, a really focused model, and you have to kind of consider the compromises you're going to be making if you go for something like this GP. Let's look at stability here on the GP now. So this model is 48 inches wide. That's a little skinnier than the majority of models today, but not much. And really the key test is to come over here and stand on one foot well. And I mean, even me, a big heavy guy, I can do this, and I'm not taking on water. This is important for getting onto this unit out in the middle of the water, maybe switching from one Waverunner to another. You want that stability. Even stepping into the Waverunner off of your dock, the more stable it is, the better you're going to feel about it. And this GP1800 is pretty dang stable. In a world full of family-friendly PWCs meant to take you to the island for a picnic in pure comfort, this GP1800R sticks to its racing roots. The only features on here are ones that help this machine achieve maximum performance in the water. So if that's what you're looking for, you should definitely consider one of these Waverunners. So everybody, that is it for this video. Why don't you go below, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this GP. As always, while you're down there, hit like, hit subscribe, and then come back to the Trucking YouTube channel to find out what we're testing next.